Today, I am going to be showing you guys my brand new Giannis Antetokounmpo build on NBA 2K23. This build is 6'11", but gets lock, takeover, and is absolutely insane on defense and can score really well on offense. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this build, and then we're going to play a couple games in the rec with Laker Fan and Koza. Hope you guys enjoy the vids, but let's get to it, man. Let's go. So actually, when it comes to making this build, you're going to be making it at the small forward position. Handedness and jersey number do not matter. When it comes to the body settings, we're going to go with the height of 6'11", weight 213 pounds, a 7'9" wingspan, and a defined body shape. When it comes to making this build, you're going to have a close shot of a 73, a driving layup of a 73, but your driving dunk will be a 93, as well as having a 75 standing dunk and an 87 post control. Now understand, these finishing stats aren't exactly 100% to how Giannis plays in real life, but attributes are limited. I still had to give this build some shooting, some ball handling, and as well as defense, so we had to take a little bit of a hit on the driving layup. Now I understand that Giannis realistically is a very good finisher around the rim, especially with his layups, but there was only so much I could do when it came to attributes on this build. When it comes to the shooting, we're gonna have a 73 mid-range shot, which is gonna get you Space Creator and Mini Magician on gold, and then we're going to have a 72 three-pointer, which will get you catch and shoot on silver. The free throw rating I ended up putting on this build is a 79, but you can definitely drop that a little bit lower if you want to, so you can put those attribute points somewhere else. Moving on to the playmaking, your pass accuracy is a 70, your ball handle is a 70, and your speed with ball needs to be at least a 65. I ended up putting it up to a 66 just because I ended up having extra attribute points, but don't think you have to put it to a 66. Realistically, you just need a 65 for the Joel Embiid dribble style. Lastly, the defense. Interior defense will be at an 80. Perimeter defense and your steal will both be maxed out at a 76 and a 77. Block is going to go up to an 88 to get you anchor on silver at an 87, and then Hall of Fame chase down artist with that 88. Offensive rebounds going up to just a 58. However, that defensive rebound is going to go up to a 93. If you are somebody that prefers having a high offensive rebound, understand you're going to have to sacrifice something on the build somewhere in order to get that offensive rebound rating. And then lastly, your physicals. Your speed will go up to a 79, acceleration to a 75, strength to a 70, vertical to an 82, and stamina to a 90. Now, yes, I understand Giannis is one of the strongest players in the league. However, you have to understand that I increased the weight at all to get more strength on this build. I was going to be sacrificing perimeter defense in order to do that, which means I would lose out on the opportunity of getting lock take. So if you don't want a Giannis build with lockdown takeover, which I think makes this build actually really insane, you want to get that higher strength to get bully, which is an overrated badge, especially when you're going up against other bigs, be my guest. And speaking of the takeovers, like I said, you can get lock take on this build while also getting rim protecting, post scoring, and slashing takeovers, but I highly recommend that you use double extreme clamps on this build, because when you double up on takeovers, your attributes increase at twice the rate it would normally. So what that means is your perimeter defense, your steal, your lateral quickness, your speed, acceleration, and your vertical are all going up plus 15 the moment you activate your primary takeover. So just activating one single takeover, all those will go up plus 15 since you're using two of the exact same takeover. I understand the people that are playing current gen, you cannot do that. So you can either pick slashing takeover or one of the other takeovers as your secondary takeover. But doubling up on takeovers is actually really insane, and it's something underrated that a lot of people don't do. So now we are coming out of the My Player Builder, and we are getting the comparisons of Xavier McDaniel, LeBron James, and Jason Tatum, and we get the build name Interior Finisher on this build. Now let's go get to those rec gameplays, man. Let's go. Actually, I lied. There's one more thing. I know that after watching this gameplay, you guys are going to ask me for the jump shot, because we were actually sparking with a 72 three-pointer and 3 bronze badges. But here it is right here. Base, PJ Washington. Release 1, Timmy D. Release 2, Marvin Bagley. The release speed is so fast on this jump shot that your defensive immunity and release height will not matter, because you will get this shot off faster than they could even contest it. But now let's get to these games, man. Listen, it got kind of awkward very quickly, because as you can see right here, I am at the shooting guard position on a 6'11 lock. Laker Fan at the 1 who can't shoot. Koza at the 3 on a lock as well, who literally can only shoot and do nothing else because his ball handle's at a 60 right now. And things got kind of interesting on this build in these games, man. I can't even lie, we kind of dominated, but let me show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so early on in the game, this guy's trying to cut baseline, but we are there and we get the chase down block. Now listen, upon watching this the first time, I did not think I got the block. I thought it was some weird glitch, but I watched it through. I blocked it with the left hand, and and I came across and got it. So yeah, I got the block. Now, you know, if you play with a guy like Laker fan, they're gonna have to send a lot of help in the paint, which means that I'm gonna be open at the 3-point line with a 72 3-pointer sparking. Now, given the circumstances, we wanted to keep everything fair because we were blowing these teams out, so we didn't run no zone, we ran no fancy offenses. It was just a very simple 5-out offense. And then on defense, we were just playing man-to-man matchups and, you know, being a little instinctful on defense, as you see right there, playing a little help defense and getting the chase down block. And now, since I have lock take, we are super fast, as you see right here. Again, once we have takeover, we have a 98 speed on this build, and you're gonna see some of that perimeter defensive play right here. He's just getting boxed right now. I don't even know if he had adrenaline at that point, but he was cold. Even in one-on-one matchups against him, I was cooking him, which realistically, that shouldn't be happening because he was on a 6'7", I think, a 6'7". Definitely more of an offensive heavy build. He was a high level, high rep, but you know, 6'11" Giannis can get it done. And since this build is so tall, still has a maximum wingspan, and gets decent perimeter defense, I feel like you could still play really good defense on this build without having a clamps badge. Because since you're so big, I guess the best word to say would be hitbox. I don't even know if a hitbox is really a thing in 2K, but I feel like since the build is 6'11", max wingspan, still has good perimeter defense, you're gonna be way more likely to get these bump animations right here. He tries to take a contested layup, and that is not going in. I don't know why he thought that would go in. I'm cutting here. I'm fucking up the spacing because listen, I'm playing brain dead. I'm playing as if I'm playing rec with randoms. So I'm cutting to the basket every single time, not realizing that I'm fucking up the spacing even more because Laker fan realistically is the only person on the team right now that can actually cut towards the basket. And as you can see right here, man, the defense on this build, we already have 3 blocks at this point in the game, playing really good help defense. And that's another thing about Giannis that I feel like a lot of people sleep on when they make builds, is that Giannis is an absolutely insane help defender, which is why I like making this version of Giannis, because I feel like this is the only realistic version I've seen of Giannis in this game that can actually play 1 through 5 at 6'11", right? And 1 through 5, I mean, basically I could guard positions 1 through 5 on this build. Now, this is the final play of the first game. I try to bait the lane and go for the steal. He has a free lane to the basket, and we get another chase down block on the final possession of the game. As you can see right here, we ended up having 18 points, 3 assists, and 4 blocks on 8 for 11 from the field and 2 for 4 from 3 on a 6'11" with 3 bronze shooting badges. Now, second game, we're at shooting guard again, guarding a 6'3" 3-and-D point, but I'm not really going to be giving as much commentary for the gameplay. I'm just going to let that play, and then we're going to just talk about Giannis, because Giannis is actually my favorite player in the NBA currently right now. So, you know, I like talking about Giannis. I don't mind talking about Giannis. Oh my God, that just sounds so sus. Anywho, I think the Milwaukee Bucks have a really good shot of winning the championship this year. I mean, if you think about it realistically, last year, Giannis was able to force a 7-game series against the Boston Celtics with no Chris Middleton. He's definitely got a good shot at winning awards like MVP and Defensive Player of the Year awards as well this year, which, I mean, is kind of expected. He's pretty much in the running for those awards every single year and will continue to have it that way until he's out of his prime. However, it's probably going to be kind of hard for him to win the MVP this year, considering there's going to be players that are healthy at the start of the season that weren't last year, including Luka Doncic. Luka wasn't really dealing with any injury issues. He was just out of shape the moment the season started, but once he got into shape, he looked like one of the best players in basketball. So Giannis will definitely have to worry about that, but I don't think he cares about MVPs at this point. It's nice if he gets them, but he's just trying to make championship runs each and every single year until like it's no longer possible. And then you also have players like Nikola Jokic when it comes to the MVP race. He's going to have players on his team coming back from injury that have not been on the team for a while, and that might help them get more wins and make him a more likely MVP candidate. I don't know if he's gonna three-peat though. That I don't think happens often enough. I remember last year towards the end of the season, Giannis did make a really good case for himself to win the MVP. I remember there was a period where he went into Philadelphia, I believe, and they beat the Sixers, and I think it was because he got like a game-winning block or something, or a game-winning contest on Joel Embiid and preventing him from scoring. And then I believe the game right after that, they were going up against Brooklyn, and he hit a step-back 3, which ended up icing the game, while also hitting that step back at the same time, to where that made him the Milwaukee Bucks all-time leading scorer, passing Kareem, which was crazy because I thought that was just such a, I don't want to use the wrong word here, but I just thought it was so poetic because we're talking about a 6'11" big man hitting a step back 3 to pass Kareem, you know, who would literally be the definition of a true center, that inside traditional center who is an insane post scorer, has insane interior defense, and is an insane rebounder as well. That's like the pure definition of a true like inside big, and he's having his points get passed up by some 6'11" hitting a step back 3. I just thought that was just so insane. But I think I've been meat riding Giannis for long enough. I think I'm going to switch up the topics a little bit. Recently on this channel, we had 500,000 views over a single month, and I'm super grateful for that. I'm super happy for that. We've been having a lot of success on this channel ever since 2K23 started. So the future is looking bright on this channel, and we got some stuff coming up really soon. Stuff that I'm working on with Koza and a couple other people that I can't really mention just yet, but keep your eyes peeled. Follow me on social media so you guys can stay updated with all the news that's going to be coming out with a thing that we're working on. I just realized how little I could actually talk about this, but just know something big is coming soon, basically. Look out for like a week from now. As always, if there's any video recommendations that you guys have that you think that I should do on this channel, whether it's specific NBA player builds or specific builds in general, or even specific play styles. I don't know. Do you want me to play as like a shot creator for an entire game? I mean, sure, totally fine. I'll do that. Absolutely. Do you want me to just purposefully go for contact dunks the entire game? I'll try. Don't expect me to time the dunk meter at all to save my life, but I'll do it. But with that being said, man, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, like, subscribe, all that bullshit. But I'm out. Peace.